And she said, why? And I said, because she's got the crazy get after it type of thing. Like it's just a feel, right? When you get that, you see that about someone, like they're gonna rip the cover off this thing if we just keep them coached up. You shouldn't have to like sit forever and just get better, right? You can be a top personal producer in the whole alliance within your first year. And so what I want to talk about is those 5 things. Like when I'm looking at someone and someone's coming to me saying, hey, how am I, how did Adam Bursch pass me? I've been here 5 years. Adam Bursch blew the doors off of me. How did that happen? Well, these are the 5 things I'm gonna go through with them. And I'm telling you, if you just take it on faith, these 5 things, you will become a top personal producer in the whole alliance. See, that's the key, right? Where are you on the bigger team? This is one of the reasons I love the transparency with seeing where we are in the whole realm of integrity. I know we can be the top deal in all of integrity. I know it, but knowing where we're at, that gets me fired up, right? So here's the 5 things I'm going to talk to you about. The first one is just, if I could get you just do one immediately, it'd be the first thing. And this is all of the people that become top producers, all have GMRs. And you say, well, that's not true. I know so-and-so, and they just work the current client base. How do you think they got the current client base? It didn't fall from the heavens. I just prayed for it and it fell in my lap and I had a current. No, they invested. Think about Mark Hutchison. Does Mark Hutchison need leads like a new producer does? No. What did he have for years? A GMR. What does Adam Bursch do? He invests every week in leads. Now, having that regularly scheduled GMR, that when you look at the top 25 producers, I sent this out to the I got so many texts. I sent this out to the here we are. Sent this out to the agency managers and above on our team. When you look at the top 25 producers in the alliance, and you go through this list of names, one of two things. It's one of two things. Either they currently have a massive GMR, or they had a massive GMR for a lot of years and now have a massive client base. You won't find anybody on this list. And then I can send you the list. If you want me to send you the list, text me. I'll send it to you. Or actually, Nick and Mike can send it to you. They have it. Or Hoyt can send it to you. He's got it. Rachel's got it. I'm trying to think who else on this team's got it. There's no one on this list that just does instant purchase. Not a single person. Not a single person. And you say, well, but it's kind of like gravity, right? We can't argue with it. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't, right? If I jump off the roof, I'm not going sideways. Same thing with becoming a top personal producer. If you want to be a top personal producer, it's that simple. Just get a GMR. Get a GMR and get as big of a GMR as you can. The bigger your appetite, the bigger the meal. Does that make sense? Like if you're just gonna do $200 a week, it's gonna take you too long to get good, and I'm afraid you might quit along the way. If you get $1,000 worth of leads or $1,500 worth of leads every week, you will get good so unbelievably fast it will blow your mind. Here's how the numbers work. In every 10 new direct mail leads, so you get a GMR, in every 10 new direct mail leads, there's 2 nobody will sell, meaning me, you, Hutch, Adam Bursch, nobody's going to sell them. Megan Wood won't sell them. And she's the #1 personal producer by a whole lot. She won't sell them. Eric Belair that you saw training this weekend won't sell them. Marcus Richardson won't be able to sell them. Nobody will be able to sell them. They're going to die without insurance. That's who they are. They're just those type of people. Okay, that's 2. There's 2 anybody could sell, meaning you can screw up 10 different things, make fun of their kids, and they'll still buy a policy. There's 2 laydowns in every single set of 10 new direct mail leads. The middle 6 is where skill comes into play. Now, as you get better, you will get more and more of that middle 6. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because if you have fear of going in on a GMR, I'm telling you, there's enough laydowns in there for you to cover the GMR and still turn a profit while you get great at it. Eric Belair's numbers from anybody that wants that, I can send it to you. I have his full presentation from NatCon or Family Reunion, the one we were just at. I have his full presentation. I'll send it to you. The slide to me that just rang through $250,000 in profit after investing $1,500 a week in leads. You can't argue with it. So that's why I'm hitting this number one so hard. If you want to be a top personal producer, it's not complicated. Get on a GMR and get it as big as possible. Here's the other reason. Not only will you get great fast because you're going to have more opportunities. Number two, when you do that, you're going to work harder. You say, I'm working as hard as I can work. I hear you. Let me hit you with something. And I talked about this on the Monday team call today, which if you're not getting on those Monday at 1, get on those with me. Every week, I'm going to share something good that will help you, that has helped me personally. I talked today a lot about Parkinson's law. You can get the replay on YouTube or something. I don't know. If you can't find it, text me. I'll get it connected somehow or the other. I talk about Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law says the thing will grow the void in which it sits. The thing will grow to fill the void in which it sits. Meaning, if you only get $200 worth of leads a week, do you know how long it will take you to work $200 worth of leads a week? A week. If you get $1,500 worth of leads a week, do you know how long it will take you to work $1,500 worth of leads a week? The thing will grow to fill the void in which it sits. It's Parkinson's law. People waste their lives because of Parkinson's law. They waste their life because they don't put themselves in forced functions. By the way, all high performers in any venue, I'm talking specific about what we do, but in any arena, top performers do two things. They craft their environments and they put themselves in forced functions. All right. That's what a GMR is. It's forced function. I have to work all these leads because I have them. I mean, it is as predictable as the day is long. It's 10-to-1 return on GMR. In fact, it's like this. If you want to see me get upset, let me see my lead bill drop. Because if my lead bill goes down, guess what I know? My cash flow is going to go down in 3 weeks. It's not if, it's in 3 weeks, my deposit will be lower. That's how crazy predictable it is with GMRs. So what do you do with that information? Go get a GMR. Get with Ashland. People say there's no leads in my area. That doesn't mean they can't generate them. That's all that's left after they filled all the GMRs. Call Ashland, call my buddy Ashland tomorrow, get a GMR, get it started. Now, here's the thing I'll tell you with a GMR, it's going to take you 6 weeks to start to see the benefits. I had a guy who said, after 3 weeks, man, I had to get rid of that GMR. Just wasn't ever getting filled. And I was like, brother, do you know how direct mail works? It will take you 6 weeks to fully feel the effect. You'll start feeling it about week 4, week 5. By week 6, you'll be in full effect. That's just that's the time it takes. So what do you do in the meantime? If you're committing, and Ashland to work this out for you, if your commitment is $1,000 a week or $1,500 a week, because that's really, if you want to be serious, that's what it's going to take. And you say, I just can't see that now. Don't say can't, because if you say can't, your brain stops trying to give you a solution. People say can't, and the brain stops working. I'm telling you, you can absolutely get there. You just got to figure it out. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I did. I took out a loan so that I could start crazy lead flow, because I just looked at all the people that were producing at a high level and all these 5 things they were doing. And number one was they all had big GMRs. So I went and took out a loan. They said, that's insane. No, it's not. It's business. You have any idea how many people will take out a loan to buy a franchise business, take out a loan to lease a restaurant property? It's business. So am I saying take out a loan? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I did. Because if I was going to wait an instant purchase and try and get my way there, it would take me too long. I didn't have that kind of time. I don't want to waste that much life. I wanted to get after it and get after it aggressively. So GMR. Oh, I was talking about Ashland. call Ashlyn and tell her that you're my friend and say, hey, I want to start investing 1,000 or 1,500 bucks a week in leads. She'll start the GMR. And then what she'll do is use the leftover. In other words, like the first week, it ain't going to be $1,000. It might only bill you for 3 leads because it just takes time to build. She'll take the extra and invest it in integrity instant leads so that you're getting instant stuff to work. And as the GMR grows, she'll wean you off of the other and get you totally just working at GMR. So Ashlyn will do that for you. She knows how to do it. She's done it for top producers I've coached. So number one, you got to have a GMR. You've got to have that weekly heavy investment in leads. It's not complicated. Look at that list of the top 25 producers in all of the alliance. They all either have a massive GMR or had a massive GMR for a lot of years and now have a massive client base. There's no third choice there. Does that make sense? There's no third. Nobody's on there. It's like, yeah, I just instant purchased my way here. Doesn't happen. Think about this. A business that succeeds, right? Do you think that, let's say Tesla Motors or Ford Motor Company, that way you can pick whichever one you want. Do you think they're trying to buy less aluminum and steel every single week? No. What do they want? They want to be buying more aluminum and steel and parts. Why? Because that means more new trucks coming off the line, more money coming back in. That's that's what a GMR is. In fact, I always try to get Andy to change it to future cash flow purchase. Not a GMR, but an FCP. What's your FCP? Your future cash flow purchase. How much cash flow would you like to purchase? You send in 1,000, you send in 1,500, you're going to be purchasing $10,000 in business written every single week, which will get you to 100 contract. And as you get better, you'll get to a 105, a 110, a 115, and you'll have, it's future cash flow purchase. How much you want to buy? How much you want to buy? All right. Second thing, the top producers keep themselves around the bigger team. You will never be a big fish in a small pond. I was talking to one of my guys about that. It's like, bro, you got to stop just keeping your people to just your little team, because they think they're a big deal, but they're nothing in the alliance. They're not in the top 25, but they think they're a big deal because you're shielding them from seeing the kind of numbers everybody else is doing. Keep yourself around the bigger team. That way you're measuring yourself against what other people are doing. If you're think about this. Sorry. I was born in Fort Lauderdale, but my parents moved to North Carolina, went to this tiny little high school. And it was so funny when I got to tiny little high school, the lack of perspective was just hilarious to me. Like, I still remember I met the pretty, quote unquote, the prettiest girl in school. And I was like, oh, sweetheart, you can't, you're not gonna be able to act like this in the real world, right? This works in this tiny little venue, but don't go to Fort Lauderdale and act like this. You will have 0 friends. Right, prettiest girl in a small school versus prettiest girl in the world. Same thing with the high school football team. It's like, bro, just so you understand, you will not be getting D1 offers. I know you're a big deal in this little school of 300 people. You're a big bad deal. You're the homecoming queen or king. I get it. But you better get an education. You better learn how to make money some other way. But no, man, it's like small pond. You lose perspective. I want to be in the biggest daggone pond. I want to be in the ocean. I want to be with the great whites so that I see what a big shark looks like. So I know what I'm trying to become. If I'm just a little koi, and if I'm the biggest koi in a little koi pond, I don't have 0 perspective about what's out there. So get around the bigger team, stay around the bigger team as much as you can. Get around the bigger team. Find out what other people are doing. Jump on the Monday message with me. See what the rest of the team's doing. We do the leaderboards every single week. Get on the TWC, hear what other people around the country are doing. Get on the activity call, hear what other people around the country are doing. It's funny, sometimes people say, well, I can't do all that because I'm focused on production. And I'm going, bro, where are you at on this? Well, I'm focused on production. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, here, you know what I'm saying? I get on those calls. Why? Because I want to know what the bigger teams are doing. I want to know who am I measured against. I want to know what does my recruiting look like versus Andy Real. I want to know that stuff. I don't want to be king of my little pond. I want to be out in the ocean around the great white, seeing what a great white looks like, so I know what I'm trying to become. I love being at Integrity, going to Integrity's campus. I'm going to Dallas again in August. I want to see what the great whites look like. Now, does it hurt my ego sometimes? Heck yeah. Does it motivate the heck out of me? Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. So get around the bigger team. Stay around the bigger team. Don't stay in your own little corner. Get around the bigger team. And now I'll get into the actual, here's the third thing. They go to where the information is. People that stay small want the information to come to them. People that get big go to where the information is. It's that simple. So I'm at family reunion, and when a guy on my team out in Witt, he's like, I need some time with you. I was like, okay, what can I do? I was like, and the thing he brings up, I'm like, man, I just talked about this on the team call 3 weeks ago, but you want me to take my time to coach you, and you can't even give me 30 minutes a week? I don't know what I can do to help. I don't know what I can do to help. Does that make sense? Go to where the information is. Get to Atlanta. Get to where the information is. If you're in Texas, get to Houston for that boot camp. I will personally be there. And national convention. That's what they all do. Now, I've contracted a ton of people. I mean, a ton of people in my 22 years. The ones that want the information to come to them never bloom. They never do. The ones that aggressively go to where the information is. That's one of the reasons, by the way, I knew Erin Wilson was going to be good. She didn't have a license yet. I don't think she had passed her test. Erin, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But she was already at a seminar that she probably didn't understand anything at, because she was still getting licensed. And we're talking about IULs, but she was where the information was, right? Then she's in Dallas, Texas at Integrity's headquarters, going to where the information is. That's what top producers do. And I can tell you, this list of all the top producers, that's what they did. They went to where the information is. That's how they got good. So if you want to be a top producer, again, we've got videos, we've got trainings. We will teach you all the how to say it like this, don't say it like that. We'll teach you all that stuff. You've got one of the masters in Hutch on how to do policy review. We've got all that. I'm just trying to give you these things. If you'll just commit to these 5 things, you'll take all that. What'll happen is you'll take all that information and you'll go become a top producer. Going to where the information is. It's that Abraham Lincoln thing, right? And I don't have the quote in front of me. I should have looked it up ahead of time, but today's just been a back to back kind of day. It says if you've got 8 minutes, I don't know, this number might not be right, but the ratio is probably pretty close. If you had, 3 hours to chop a tree down, what would you do? I'd spend 2.5 or 2 hours and 45 minutes sharpening my axe and 15 minutes chopping. You can look the quote up. Somebody look the quote up. We want to post it in the chat. That's cool. Or not, but you can find the quote. It's not hard to find. What's the point? Here's the point. Sharpening your axe. That's being, think about what Marcus said, the message Mark was carrying at that convention. Be on Andy, same message, be on TWC, be on the product call, learn those products, go where the information is, and you will chop some serious trees down. When someone says, I can't do all that because I'm focused on sales, that's the person with a dull axe swinging at a tree for 3 hours, getting frustrated, not getting anything done. Get to where the information is. The reason I still get on everything is because I don't want to miss that next thing, right? Like I was furious I missed the thing that Chris Norris could do calls for an elite team on how to get more annuity business written, like all the financial education piece. I'm going to assemble 15 of my top people and get the same thing going. But see, I'm already behind Manly on that. That's why I go to where the information is. I get on those calls with the reverse paranoia of, I don't know when what's I need to hear is going to be said, so I've got to be everywhere I can be. And he's like, sometimes it's, what if someone just tells their story? I tell you what, either you're on the call and you get a piece of gold, or you're on the call and you go, how is that person beating me? I'm just being frank. I can tell you coming up how many times I would be on a call and be like, that person's outrighting me? Oh, heck no. But see, if I hadn't been on that call, I wouldn't have that thought. I wouldn't have reached deeper. I wouldn't have dug deeper and found depth I didn't know was there. Does that make sense? All right. Got to keep going here. I'm running out of time. Number 4 They evaluate and adjust. They evaluate and adjust. They stay flexible. People that are rigid struggle to stay top producers. Why? You're going to need to move where your GMR is from time to time. You're going to need to move which carrier you're writing. I know there's one carrier right now. I'm just like, man, we might as well call you the decline company of. I was like, oh, the guy, don't talk to me about placement. I know what the heck I'm doing. My people know what they're doing. Y'all just decline every dadgum thing because you get a minimum report and you see one code and you just go off the deep end with it instead of thinking like a person should think. That's neither here nor there. But what if that's your carrier and that's the thing? But I love that's my favorite. Stay flexible, evaluate and adjust. I talk all the time. Shoot, but I thought this through. I talk all the time about my journals, the journals I've got here in my office. How many appointments I have journaled over my time to evaluate and adjust. I hate making the same mistakes again. Making the same mistake twice is using a piece of your life to learn a lesson that you didn't have to use that piece of life to learn. Right? When I make the same dumb mistakes because I don't evaluate and adjust, I'm using portions of my life to go through a lesson again that I didn't have to. I don't want that. I don't want that. Evaluate and adjust. It's one of those things. I gotta sell. I hear you. I also need you to evaluate and adjust. That's how you're going to get better. Because if you just keep doing what you're doing, this is as good as it's ever going to get. No different than in marriage. I take time and I evaluate. Right? Holly and I just had our 24th anniversary. That's a time I do definitely take time and evaluate. I also do it around the beginning of the year too, because our anniversary's on, the calendar like that. So evaluate and adjust. Where do I need to get better? Why? Because I only know how to be as good at marriage as I am now. And if I keep doing that, we can't get to higher levels of connectedness, right? So it's the same way top people at anything attack anything. That's what I've learned in all my reading and being around top people in all different formats. Evaluate and adjust. Here's the other part of adjusting: getting specific coaching. One of the questions I hate getting, and I don't know how many people are on this call. Is there 38 people? I hate, and I mean hate, getting this question. How do I get better at sales? Well, the good news is it is a question. The bad news is I don't know. All right. But when you bring specific things like this happened, I did this, what would have been better? That we can adjust. Does that make sense? I shouldn't say I hate that question. I just hate the lack of productivity in it. It's like, I don't know. I haven't been following you around. I don't know where you're screwing up. But if you've got it, that's why evaluate and adjust again, then get the coaching. That's how you get great. That's how you get. This is what I did. I brought stuff to Andy constantly. Man, this happened. I did this. I didn't make a sale. I didn't get, what should I do? And then either he would have the answer or he'd get me connected with a top producer that would get me the answer. Last thing, number 5, people that move up the leaderboards, they build while they sell. They build while they sell. There's no such thing as I'm just going to focus on sales. If it's just not, you're not going to sustain it. I can show you people that top producers for a while, didn't build a big, wide and deep team. You're going to get bored. Here's the other thing. When you're built, that's one of the reasons, why do you think Mike Guerra passed so many people in the alliance? Because he had people writing business before he even had a license. I feel like that's right, because we were saving his money until we could legally pay him. If you want to be a top producer, build while you sell. And here's the thing, we're going to help you. We've got all kinds of systems. We like internally, and y'all are welcome to use them. We have training classes. You don't have to do the sales training. You can put them through our series of classes. And then Omar does a live class on Thursday to finish it all up, to get them to collapse all that time. We've got boot camps. Just get them around. Don't worry about you being the expert. In fact, I'd tell you, I was telling this to Nadir, who's down under Lane, who's under Sabrina, part of Soto's organization. I was telling him, like, now's the time to build, bro. Why? Because we'll do everything for you. 3 years from now, if you still need me to call lists, I'm going to be like, I don't know about that. I think I need to find someone sharper underneath you and just work with them. But right now, heck yeah, we'll do all the work. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the 5 things. I'm just telling you, if you do these 5 things, you'll take all the information you have, because we have a wealth of information. You have a wealth of coaches on your team. You guys got so much talent, and a lot of you guys come with leadership development from your past that is going to just, I mean, just take all that, take the coaching and put these 5 things, because I promise you, you look at anybody that goes to a top producer, these 5 things is what they do. And so when someone asks me, what do I need to do to be a top producer? All I'm trying to figure out is, which of these are they not doing? Which of these are they not doing? Are they not investing regularly in leads? Are they getting around? Are they keeping themselves around the bigger teams on the call so that they hear what other people are doing and know what they can be, right? Are they going to where the information is, right? If it's like, I've got to always go to you with the information, it's going to be hard for you to get good, because there's only one me and there's only so much time, right? And then they're evaluating and adjusting, and they're building a team as they go. I'm telling you, I've been doing this 22 years. You can count on it like gravity. Like I said, if you jump off a roof, you're not going sideways. If you do these 5 things and you apply the sales training that we give, it's not a question of if you're going to be a top producer in the whole alliance. You will be. You'll be a top 10, top 20 producer in the whole alliance, 100%. It's a fact. I've seen it for 22 years. Mike, Nick, I hope that helps.
Yeah, brother. Appreciate you. Good stuff. Yeah, thanks, man. That was awesome. So just wrapping it up, that's pretty much what we got for you guys. I'd say the main thing, like Davies was saying, all the top people on our team, all the top people on his team, all the people on Riddles, Leventoviches, they have the GMR. They got consistent, good leads coming in every week. And so thank you so much, Dr. Davies. We're going to up our lead flow. We're going to get more consistent with that, and we're going to do those 5 things. So we will blast out the. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you this. Mark the date down. Chart the total number of lead investment on the team. And then 4 weeks later, you can chart the production flow behind it. It's that predictable. Like, I'm willing to bet that heavy on it. Like, just chart it. It's crazy. I've been doing it for 22 years. Like, you'll see, today was the date, July 24th. As that number goes up, 4 weeks later, the production goes up right behind it. It's as predictable as events. So.
Yep. No, it's 100%. I know for Nick, I know for myself, I know a lot of people have, especially after family reunion, up that, and they're starting to see the results of that. So, scared money don't make money. You can't do that with the leads. And the more that you have, the more confident you get. The more confident you get, the better at sales you get. So, if it takes you 50 appointments to get somewhat decent, some people do those 50 appointments in 6 months. Some people do those in 6 days. It's just, how fast do you want to do it? So appreciate you, brother. Going to post a recording on this, and we'll see you at the next big event. Have a great night, everybody. We're going to post a link for the trainings upcoming. You'll see, Steven, you're going to be in Denver and no, you're going to be in Houston. Denver, and then where else are you going to be?
So I'm going to be in Dallas Monday, Houston on because we're doing like the Tuesday, Wednesday thing, like the social Tuesday, boot camp Wednesday. Then we're going to Denver, social Thursday evening, boot camp Friday. I'll be at all of that. That's all the week of August 14 is Dallas, 15, 16 is Houston, 17, 18 Denver. So I'll be at all of it. Come see me.
Awesome, brother. Well, appreciate you. We'll post all those details. Everybody have a great night. Go get ready.